Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of the Mount Union Area School District Board of Directors to order. Please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Dee.
Mrs. McClure,
Here.
Mr. Weitzel,
Here.
Mr. Gerhart, Mr. Hoover, Mr. Kreitzer,
Here.
Mrs. Jackson, Mr. Martinez, Mrs. Myers, Mrs. Shield.
Could I hear a motion for the approval of the minutes from the September 16th meeting is presented?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mount Union Area Board of Education held an executive session for exit interviews on October 9th and prior to the start of this evening's meeting. Minutes from the safety committee meeting are included. No action needed. We did not hold any board committee meetings during the month of October. Could I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report for August 2024? Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Could I have a motion for the approval of the bills for payment for October 2024 for the general fund, cafeteria fund, scholarship fund, and activities fund, with the understanding there are no bills for the capital reserve fund for October? Do I have a motion? I have a second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Could I have a motion for the approval of the district office petty cash reports and the nurses' reports for August, September as presented?
Motion.
Are you a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Brings us to public comments. Member of the public, if they have something they would like to address that's part of the agenda, you have 5 minutes. Please state your name, the number that you would like to discuss, and your address. And please come forward. Anyone? All right, moving forward. For your information, the highlights of the Tuscarora Intermediate Unit meeting of September 12th and October 10th are given to the board. Recommendation to approve the contract agreement for special education services between the Tuscarora Intermediate Unit and the district for the 24-25 school year in the amount of $111,667. Do I hear a motion? Do I hear a second? All in favor? Opposed?
Abstain.
Notification from the Tuscarora Intermediate Unit that the election of board members for 2025 will be by mail ballot. No action at this time. Approval of the minutes of the September 10th meeting of the Huntington County Career and Technology Center. Do I hear a motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Recommendation to approve the memorandum of understanding between Huntington County Career and Technology Center and the sending school districts is presented. Do I hear a motion? Do I hear a second? Any comments or questions? All in favor? Opposed? Could I have a motion for the approval of the consent vote agenda items as presented? General item 9.1 to conference item 14.8.
Motion.
Second? Give everyone a minute to look over them, see if you have any questions.
I don't have a question, but I'd like to point out, under personnel 10.5, retirement of Tierney Love. I don't think you'll find a better employee than she has been for Mount Union. She's been the glue that has held Shirley Township Elementary together for 20+ years. She's taken an early retirement. I know she said for her granddaughter, but she's also disgruntled over some things that have changed in the years leading up to this. I know she'll finish strong because that's the type of person she is, but she certainly needs to be recognized because she has done a fantastic job for many, many years at Shirley Township, and she deserves to be recognized publicly.
I agree. I'm sure she will be missed. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Let's take the transportation items as a grouping. Recommendation to approve the revised transportation pay rates for the 24-25 school year. Additional drivers for the district. And additional van drivers for Grubco and D. Boer. Do I hear a motion? Do I hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Recommendation for the following board meetings for November and December. Cancel the workshop scheduled for Monday, November the 11th due to holiday, no school. Regular meeting for November 2024 will be held Monday, November the 18th at 7 p.m. And to schedule the reorganization special session to be held on Thursday, December 5th at 6:30. And cancel the regular meeting for December 2024. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Do I hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Recommendation to grant first reading of revised and new board policies and administrative regulations to reflect changes for Title IX and school safety and federal programs for the following is listed. Do I hear a motion? Do I have a second?
Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Recommendation by the interview committee to name Dennis Drake as head girls softball coach for the 24-25 school year at the salary of $4,400. Do I hear a motion? Do I hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Recommendation to approve the compensation plans effective July 1 to June 30th, 2025 is presented for Act 93, non-Act 93, non-collective bargaining support staff, Director of Business Affairs, and Supervisor of Maintenance.
My only question is on the agenda, it says supervisor of maintenance, July 2021 through June 2025. And on the agenda, it says 24, 25. I don't know, am I missing something? Or is that just typing? The dates, and then it says,
It should be July 1, 2024.
this is what it says. Click on the actual form. Then down under salary, yeah, and the salaries, it says 21, 22 again.
Jim. Correction.
That looks like his contract, actually. Because it starts.
It's right, yeah. Yeah, that's his contract, July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2025. That is his contract. He had a 4-year, yeah. So it's wrong. It should have just been listed separate, like, this is right, July 1 to June 30th for all them but his.
So can we just change the date on this, or do we need another?
No, that's right, the actual.
The agenda's right,
contract.
the attachments.
The attachment's right,
Attachment, right.
the agenda's wrong.
The wording probably should have been broken out, supervisor of maintenance.
Should that all be me?
He had a 4-year agreement.
Yeah, 4-year contract.
Back in 21.
So can we vote on it as is, or do we need to pull him out and vote on him separately? Here's this, okay. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Recommendation to name Cassandra Wilson as assistant girls paid softball coach effective for the 24-25 school year at the salary of $2,200 pending receipt of necessary paperwork. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Request from Dennis Drake on behalf of the girls softball program for permission for a bingo fundraiser in March, April 2025. Use of the high school gym, auxiliary gym, softball field, and baseball tunnel to hold softball open gyms starting October 22nd. Open gyms to include the school weight room with use of the school van with the 1,000 steps taken out at this time. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Requests from Allison Sieber, Brenda Foley, Christina Kraus, and Amanda Culbertson to participate in the safety care initial training to be held at the Huntington County Career and Technology Center, November 5th and 6th, with cost to the district being for registration $7 each and substitutes for the 2 days. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Abstain.
All right, we will lump the rest of them as one. The request from Natalie Buckley and Haley to participate in the safety care training, November 5th and 6th. Cost $7 each, substitutes for 2 days. Request from Valerie Kayampa to attend the patent training to be held September 25th. Request from Kristen Stratoff to participate in a webinar, team initiated problem solving. Request from Sandra Rickaball to participate in the TIPS team training on December the 13th. And request from Melissa Schimpf and Jim Schneider to attend the TIPS team training to be held December the 13th. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Now we'll move on to public comments. Does anyone have a comment they would like to make? Please come forward, state your name and address.
Okay, Cheryl Barnes, 99 Lower Country Club. Club Road, Mount Union. Do we have an update on the selling of Mapleton?
Any questions?
Okay, all right,
We're gonna put it up, out for bid. We have to have our yard sale up there. We're gonna show it tomorrow, Wednesday, to an interested party. And we're gonna get the stuff ready to have the yard sale. So then we'll put it out for bid.
all right, just one other quick comment. It was brought to my attention by a parent in the district of last week. I think it was Wednesday's away volleyball game, but typically they take 2 buses for the junior high, JV, and varsity volleyball. But there was only a junior high and varsity away game, and they still took 2 buses, and they all put on 1 bus. And they were saying, you're in a financial crisis, and there was a waste of money. That was brought to me by a parent. So I just think, I don't know who watches those things, but as another taxpayer in the district, and knowing that we're situation we are in, I think that needs to be looked at and addressed. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Barnes. Anyone else? Okay. Moving on. Our workshop is canceled for November. The regular board meeting will be held November the 18th. And our reorganization will be held December the 5th. We'll move on to the administrators and superintendent reports. Hope, you want to start? Sure.
September 24th, the PBIS team and I went to Juniata Valley and met with some of their core team members to look at their program, their student store, and all of those things. On October 2nd, Denise Sugars and Julie Brown were here for office hours for the junior high staff, working with WordGen and Third Quest. Staff members were able to go and meet with her or meet with them, and they also came into classrooms to observe and give feedback. The junior high picnic was a success. We did have to bring it inside because of the weather, but the students still had a great time. On October 4th, Kristen and I met with Marilyn Sprick. She's the author of Third Quest, to go over our presentation for the forum in Hershey, where we'll be presenting. I'm sure she'll talk more about that. On October 8th, we went to the PBIS Student Summit at Juniata College. We took the students with us. We were able to listen to a lot of fantastic presentations by other districts and bring back some great ideas. This past Friday, we had our PBIS kickoff at the junior high. The kids had a great time. We were able to explain the expectations. We ran stations. Thanks to Kristen for putting a lot of work into that. Junior high Halloween party is this coming Friday. Students can sign up at lunch. We had a meeting today with some people from Patton to talk about Third Quest and WordGen and the systemic supports that we are implementing. Kristen will also talk more about that. And in September, I completed 40 walkthroughs for teachers, 1 formal observation. So far this month, I've completed 30 walkthroughs and 4 formals. That's all I have for the junior high.
Alicia?
Okay, going back to September 23rd, I just wanted to bring to the board's attention that Kissar Elementary was involved in what was called a swatting call. I've talked to my staff, but I wanted to let the board know that I was very proud of how the staff handled that situation, followed procedure quickly, and did so while keeping their cool. And I think keeping a lot of our students from knowing the dire situation that was unfolding out front. I'd like to thank Mr. Drake for his quick response in coming to the school, as well as his ability to add his insight and bridge the gap between the state police that were present and the building as a whole. And also, of course, thanking the urgent or thanking the state police and the sheriff department for their very quick and urgent response. It was quite impressive, and although it's something that none of us at the building hope we ever have to go through again, it was nice to know that we had support in a very, very quick fashion. After that, beginning of the year benchmark was completed at the end of September. Looking at the reading scores, starting off the year, we're on average at about 50% proficient or above grade level. So we're working hard to improve those scores for the middle of the year. Math scores for the beginning of K1 and 2 are a little bit different. They actually test them on what we want them to know at the end of the year. So when it comes to kindergarten, a little over 6% of our students already have the skills necessary for the end of the year. First grade, 18% have skills necessary for end of year, and second grade is just under 6%. So those goals will continue to grow as the students learn those objectives throughout the school year and continue to be assessed mid and end of year. Kistler's McTeacher Night for PBIS was a huge success. It was held on Thursday, September 26th. There were several staff members that took part in the event, and the group was able to raise approximately $1,800 to put toward things like our first quarter celebration that's happening at the end of this week. The school's taken a school-wide trip to the barnyard. We did have a fire safety event that took place on Wednesday, October 9th. Mr. Schneider and Mrs. Schimpf did a great job coordinating the event and developing the schedules. There was an ambulance, a fire truck, the state police were there, and a gentleman from the Huntington County was there with his drone and was able to do a presentation. So the students really enjoyed that and got a lot of good information. And lastly, our Act 80 Day on October 14th, the Kistler staff received a 3-hour training on small group instruction from the IU, which will help to drive those scores hopefully in the positive direction we're looking for. They also had time to work on their SPM. They completed an active assailant preparedness vector training, and they had time to look at their grade level data. So a lot of good things were accomplished on that day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Christian McClure and I met with Penny Wright from the IU 11 to discuss the skills rollout and our future plans for training and preparations here at Mount Union, grades K all the way through 12. On Monday, October 14th, Christian and I presented additional information regarding the Mount Union area district scores compared to our other local school districts and the state trend. Also on Monday, October 14th, as mentioned before, was our all-day Act 80. So our secondary teachers and paras attended a part 1 of classroom management training. They, from our patent representatives, they also completed vector trainings on youth suicide prevention and awareness, which is Pennsylvania Act 71, and active assailant preparedness. Teachers were also given time to work on their SPM, student performance measure, some FID plans or curricular needs based on where they are. Because, for example, SPMs are only tenured teachers. So our new teachers did not need to focus on that. So our secondary teachers have actually completed their required training hours for Act 55 at this time, thanks to the Title IX they had already done earlier. So they're a little ahead this year, getting that done early. On Wednesday, October 16th, all building groups were at our all hazards team meeting. And 2 of our 4 groups were able to completely get their reviews and updates done for their buildings, while the other 2 took it home for homework to complete and send back to me by November 1st. Christian and I met with the new teachers on Thursday, October 9th. Our focus for that new teacher induction was parent-teacher conferences and the importance of maintaining communication. I did help to organize the junior high PBIS kickoff that was last Friday. And then Mr. Mickle and I met today, and we got everything ready to roll out for the high school kickoff this Friday. Finally, Mrs. Pomp also mentioned that we're going to have a presentation in the Innovate and Integrate MTSS PBIS Forum in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's Thursday, November 14th. We will be sharing our implementation challenges and the accomplishments of Mount Union Area School District. as well as some of our results and things. Our teachers are meeting with us tomorrow to plan out the videos that they're including, but our slideshow already has like over 50 slides, so we only get 1 hour. I'm gonna have to talk really fast. So, other than that, we're working with Marilyn Sprick, the author of Third Quest from Oregon. Thank you. Sorry.
Janet?
Okay. Well, as always, some stuff was already talked about. We do have our PBIS kickoff on Friday. This past Friday, I went to Claysburg to watch the football team. Our team is 8-1. I might have stolen somebody else's thunder there on that one. But we're looking forward to a playoff bid for the football team. Say a prayer for the FFA. They are going to Indianapolis, leaving tomorrow. It's a 10-hour trip. And so maybe mostly pray for the teacher and the any people going along with the kids in 10 hours in the car. We have been holding ISS with some success, try and get those if we get a bunch of kids that need that, and then we'll hold one on like a Wednesday or something during the week where we can organize some teachers to kind of take turns coming in and out, and as I oversee it. And then I've also done a number of referrals for our Smokeless Saturday. That was something that you guys approved this year. So instead of students getting a citation from the magistrate, they are referred to the program called Smokeless Saturday, so that they go and they take a webinar for 3 hours on a Saturday, and they have to pay $75 to be in that class. But it is a informative webinar on the problems of vapes, the various different things they can do instead of vaping. So looking forward to some success there, you know, trying to educate our students instead of just punishing them.
Right, today we started off with the American Heart Association Challenge and Assembly today, and the students were exposed to Healthy Body, Healthy Hearts, and Mrs. Varner and I are heading that up, but she is doing all the work in the phys ed classes with jump roping, and we played some games today with that, and the students, of course, beat the teachers on jump roping, but I did beat Mr. King. And Izzy Kreitzer was awarded the Golden Award student since last year. She never actually got that award in front of everybody. So she was given that certificate this year because she won for donating or getting donations the most in the school. IU will be coming on Friday to do some fidelity checks on our partner reading and paragraph shrinking, which is one of our new programs that we're using to improve our scores, reading fluency. Our new librarian started, Tiffany Duman, and she's doing a really good job, and we're happy to have her. Early positive signs of progression in our phonics for reading, Parallel Universe, and rewards are the other 3 programs that we're implementing to improve our scores in reading and ELA. But we are seeing some early positive signs with that, and we're grateful. The students and some of our faculty are very happy that you approved our dance for Friday night. We're going to try it out since the middle group doesn't do a parade anymore, so we thought we would try a dance, and they're pretty excited. Trunk or treat is tomorrow night. Our quarterly PBIS Assembly Fall Festival is November the 1st, and we're going to do a bunch of activities outside. I have done 31 walkthroughs and 3 formals. And the last thing, 2 things actually. Dennis Drake, the SSO, will be in to talk to our students. We've had some problems outside with some social media on cell phones, and some of our 3rd graders are questioning he doesn't have a uniform like a police officer uniform. So he's going to come in and talk to our students on those 2 issues and clear it up and make them feel more comfortable. And last but not least, our junior high volleyball team was the first time ever to make the playoffs. Unfortunately, we didn't win 25-21, but it was a big honor. And this was a really good group of girls, and I was happy to be part of it. So thank you very much. We ended up 13-2. So.
I'd like to say I'd be as short as them, but it's not a short one. FBLA hit the ground running this year. Officers have worked together to set up a variety of events, including a corn maze event, volunteering at Lincoln Caverns, and a game night. Now, it isn't all fun and games. This year, a group of students decided to compete in their first ever community service event at the state level. Students have been volunteering at the library, going to borough meetings to get approval for book boxes around town, and planning a reading under the lights night where the soccer players read to the elementary students, which I was very proud of all the boys who helped with that. Some of them definitely came out of their shells a ton. I could not have expected anything more out of that event. I was very happy with the outcome. A small group of students will be attending SLW, which stands for State Leadership Conference or Workshop, on November 2nd through the 5th, where they will learn about their competitive event, get a tour of Kalahari Water Park, and gather more information about becoming a strong business leader. NHS will be attending Rise Up Against Hunger on the 27th for their October service event. They were originally supposed to go not this past weekend, but the weekend before. However, the day was pushed back. Induction is quickly approaching, so officers and seniors have been working together to get that ready. Induction will be held November 7th at 8 a.m. in the auditorium. Throughout the year, FFA has planned many events for new members, including a Halloween pumpkin carving night and dedicated nights to their float for the Halloween parade. Members have participated in things such as fall CDEs, where members compete in a category of their choice. Members will also be traveling to Indianapolis this week for nationals. This week is Red Ribbon Week, which SAD has worked together and prepared handout items for students to encourage them to make the right choices. This year's theme was all about movies, so today's was Wonder, and Make a New Friend. Drama Club, this year's class plays are Gossip, which is a heartfelt play about the negative effects of gossip, and a play that is near and dear to my heart, Complaint Department and Lemonade, which is a funny play about people who realize maybe their complaints aren't as big as they think they are. Complaint Department last took the stage in 2019 and was the first ever plays that this year's set of seniors were in, so they're very excited to redo it. Plays will be in the auditorium on November 21st. Chess Club has been disbanded. There's no more advisor for that. If anyone's interested in being an advisor, I'm sure they'd love to start that back up, but at this time, there's no advisor. The football team has had a very successful season thus far, and they have entered their postseason with this recent win, which has earned them a home game, from my understanding. I really don't get football, but from my understanding, they have a home game. I could be wrong, though. Cheer continues practices and performance of football games, and as soon as it sounds, I'm sure they're preparing for their winter season, which is upcoming. Soccer's had a good season and picked up a few wins this year, which we're very happy about, because last year they had a not as great season. Unfortunately, they will lose a bunch of their seniors next year, so they'll have to rebuild the program a little bit. The boys and girls cross country team had a very successful season. The boys only lost once, and they have one more game. The volleyball team had a good season and celebrated their seniors the other night, senior night. Champ has held a bake sale this past weekend and has been meeting regularly in order to come up with and plan fundraisers and hopes to win back the Champ Cup. And with choir, a small group of choir students have been meeting after school in preparation for county choir that is quickly approaching. County will be held at Huntington this year.
Christian?
Kistler Elementary was notified that they will receive recognition for Tier 1 Initial at the 2024 Innovate and Integrate MTSS and PBIS Advanced Implementation Forum held in November at the Hershey Lodge. This recognition is because they met the criteria for implementing school-wide positive behavior interventions and supports with fidelity during the 23-24 school year. Kistler and Shirley Township classrooms received up to a year-long free trial of a math intervention computer program called First in Math. Students in each classroom must answer an average of 750 or more questions before Christmas in order for their classroom to continue with the free trial from January through May. First in Math also offered 2 free trainings after school on September 25th and September 26th for our elementary teachers and admin. Another free program that we've gotten a trial for is a program called Book Break. We were awarded a free subscription. Book Break has live presentations every month with children's book authors, and classrooms from across the country can tune in live or watch the recording later. Book Break offers a buy one, get one free program where when one district purchases the program or purchases a license, they award a free license to a high poverty school. By the end of September, I finished 2 rounds of walkthroughs in all of the new elementary teachers' classrooms. Patton and the IU continue to hold monthly open office hours in each of our elementary schools in addition to secondary schools. During these office hours, reps from Patton and the IU come in and answer teachers' questions. They'll also go into classrooms and model different programs that we're implementing. Thursday, October 3rd, 1 rep from Patton and 4 reps from the IU were at Shirley Township. On Tuesday, October 15th, Mrs. Stradiff and I virtually attended the monthly CAC meeting held by TIU 11. This month, the meeting was held at Central Fulton School District. Last Thursday, I completed the Ready to Learn grant. This year, we were awarded $847,311.17, a $512,809.17 increase from last year. Mrs. Martin, Dr. Smith, and I had met previously to discuss how we were going to allocate that money for this non-competitive grant. We agreed to use the money to purchase the new elementary reading series and then use the rest for K-3 teacher salaries and benefits. One last thing, Mrs. Stradiff had mentioned that last week we had our monthly new teacher induction meeting. We actually have one of our new teachers here this evening. Mr. Moore, if you wouldn't mind waving or standing up. He is our 6th grade social studies teacher down here at the junior high. One of the requirements for new teacher induction is that they attend a school board meeting. So Mr. Moore is here tonight.
Welcome. Casey, the auditors have started. They were here the week of September 30th, and they'll be back this week to continue working. I am preparing to close out the final ESSER reporting that's due by the end of December. We've spent down our funds and we have that allocated. I am working on compiling the information to complete the child nutrition financial report for 23-24. And then we will get into budget prep for 25-26 before you know.
Thank you.
Dawn? I want to do sort of a special thank you to both F&M Trust and Commonwealth Charitable Management. We had 5 students apply for dual enrollment scholarships. All 5 of those students were awarded scholarship money. When we did the initial acknowledgement of those 5 students, F&M Trust came back and tripled the amount of that scholarship, which for our students meant that 20% of their tuition for dual enrollment courses was then going to be paid for. They did send that check through here to the school, made payable to the college. We worked with the college, so those funds were applied before students had to pay those tuition bills. So special thanks to them. We'll be sending some additional thank yous out to that company. We appreciate funds anytime we can get them. We are finalizing and registration for fall. The final payment for Mount Aloysius is due on the 30th. We did spring scheduling for college courses on October 16th. We continue to have open enrollment for online. We're currently at 165 students online. That's an additional 8 students from last month. As far as Cyber charter, rates for this year, regular ed, $15,294.19. That's an increase from last year of $1,378.65 per student. The special ed rate for this year, $46,550.24. That's an increase over last year of $6,026.83. As of January 1st, there will be a special ed rate reduction. That $46,000 will be reduced to $37,972.72. That would be a savings for the district, $8,577.52. We currently stand at 152 Central charter school enrollments. That is 10 less than last month. We worked through the PIMS data submission for our vendor teachers that was due October 1st. We will continue to add vendor teachers as online courses are enrolled and new teachers are identified.
Ready?
I have no updates at this time.
Dr. Smith?
I think they hit most of it. I do want to wish Tierney Love the best in her retirement, and thank her for all her years of service in the district.
Could I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,